Hey, it is the Hot Mess Healer, the artist formerly known as the Goddess of Fire, here to just spark a little quick conversation with y'all. So, I'm so country now. Oh my god. So I just wanted to pop on here and give a little bit of a life update in case y'all been wondering, and if you were concerned or nosy, I don't know. But first and foremost, I changed my name to the Hot Mess Healer because I really wanted to be more authentic, and I call myself a hot mess all the time, but I am also a healer. And I just wanted to shed a little bit of light on that and some truth to that, because this whole process of, a spiritual awakening, ascension, you know, following your life path is a bit of a hot mess from time to time. So I just wanted to really represent that. And because I needed to, like I said, just be true to myself. And I see so many people that are on the spiritual path and are out here giving advice and this, that, and the other. And there's such a level of perfection that's associated with it. I felt before I popped on here, I felt like I needed to make my hair look a little bit better, have my forehead not be as shiny, things like that. And I'm just like, no, I need to be real and in my rawness, because this is it. Everybody just focuses on the love and the light and the pretty flowers and the crystals and this, that, and the other. And it's just like, nah, sometimes the hardest part of the battle is getting up out of bed sometimes. Not all healers are always motivated all the time. Not all healers are looking like they're about to hit a red carpet all the time. That's not how it is. We're out here with fuzzy hair, greasy foreheads, regular old t-shirts, just living our lives, living our best lives, even if we're struggling, right? So that's part of it. I feel more comfortable in this energy and in this representation. So now that we got that out of the way. So for those of you that may not know, excuse me. Oh shit. My now husband and I moved to Denver in June of 2021, which was great. It was wonderful. We were really excited. We were really happy. And things were going well for us for quite some time until they weren't going well for us. And so part of that was the apartments that we were living in when we first got there was just, bruh, I swear to God, we got catfished. Because of course, when I did my research and everything to move there, it was all online, and, looks can be freaking deceiving, especially when people are taking photos of the grounds and it's snowy outside. You can't see that it looks like absolute trash underneath all of the snow. But anyways, so February of 2022, we had a leak happen in our apartment. And it was fucking crazy. It literally sounded like it was raining in my kitchen one night. I was high as fuck, legit going to bake some fucking cookies, and it sounded like it was raining in my kitchen. We see that there's water coming down from one of our cabinets. And so I try to get on the phone and get maintenance or whatever. Find out there's no freaking emergency number for maintenance. First of all, what? Second of all, how? So when the guy showed up. He was like Uber Eating or something like that as his side hustle, but whatever. He shows up and he goes upstairs and talks to the two, because there's 2 floors above us. We were on the 4th floor. Talks to the 5th floor. We tell him, we already talked to them. They weren't doing nothing. They weren't washing dishes. They weren't using their dishwasher, nothing like that. And then he talks to the people on the 6th floor, and he comes back and says, oh, this happens sometimes. And I'm like, huh? It happens sometimes? That means this has happened before, which means there's already water damage. There's already probably the possibility of mold, not to mention the other fucking issues we had there, the pest problem. We had roaches since day one. Ugh. So it was just, things just kept stacking on top of each other. But they do a bullshit fucking roundabout way of trying to deal with the situation. I'm getting dodged and weaved. It's a blame game. The manager's not ever fucking available for a conversation. I ended up calling the health department and reporting this shit. Became buddy with Billy. And he was coming to my apartment like every week for like 3 or 4 weeks. Dead ass. The apartment's got 2 violations, which after the final violation, you are subject to fines and shit. So also, just gonna back it up a little bit, when this thing first popped off, I remembered that when we first got there, that this guy was walking around getting signatures and stuff and talking about a lawsuit with the apartments, and I was just like, oh, that's wild, whatever. Remembered that contact, blah, 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 had my husband get on the line and reach out to that dude, and he gets back to us lickety-split, perfect timing. It's right before they were going to do some filing and things like that, and so I start basically documenting this entire process. I'm writing emails back and forth. I'm calling people. I'm recording conversations too, because in Colorado, you are allowed to, it's a 1 consent state or whatever. So if one person agrees to being recorded, that's all that matters. And I was agreeing to be recorded. So I was recording all sorts of shit. Talk to the lawyer. I'm, having conversations, exchanging emails, taking pictures, all sorts of stuff. Like I said, it was just a blame game between everybody. And the fucking maintenance guy was such a D-bag. Because he'd be lying straight to my face. And then try to tell me it happened from the other side of the upstairs from somebody else's dishwasher, and I'm like, bullshit. So anyways, I'm on the phone with the lawyer one day, and I tell him, I'm like, I want to get out of here. How do I do it? And so he gives us the tools that we need in order for us to start that process, because we had already had enough, to terminate our leasing agreement at this point, because we're not getting communication, we're not getting answers, time is going by, it only takes 3 days for a mold to propagate. That's it. And that shit was hella wet. When the health department guy Billy was coming in, he was getting readings all the time. Every week that he came in, even the last visit we had, he was still getting moisture readings of 40% and up. So the lawyer, he's like, all right, I'm going to give you basically a script. You fix it, finagle it, and work it out so it best fits your situation. So he emails me a script, and I copy and paste that shit, and we fill it out and I doctor it or whatever, and then I copy and paste it, and then I sent it to my husband, and on the count of 3, we're going to hit send, and we sent it. And I literally right afterwards, because the lawyer had told me they have 5 days to respond, whether that be to offer you a hotel, offer you a completely new unit in the apartment, whatever it is, they're supposed to try and fix it as soon as possible. And so after that, it was like the universe was hell on our side, because the apartment manager was out of office. She was on vacation during this point. So it was like, great, wonderful, she's not even gonna fucking see it. But I had manifested for our emails to go to her spam folder so she would not see them. Legit manifested for this shit. And as sure as the fucking sun rises every morning, when she got back from her vacation or whatever, she like calls me and she's like, oh, well, I thought that they were going to offer you a new unit and blah, 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 blah. I'm like, nope, that didn't happen. That didn't happen. That didn't happen. And she's like, oh, weird. And she was like, so what do you want to do? And I was like, I already told you what I wanted to do. I emailed you on the 10th. This was in March. So I was like, I emailed you on the 10th. Which is also a special day because that's my nephew's birthday, and good things always happen to me around his birthday, so it was just like, bada bing, bada boom, universe gots me, right? So, she's like, you didn't email me, blah, 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 and she was like adamant. She was basically trying to tell me I was a liar on this conversation. I was like, no, and I was like, hold on, give me a second. Let me pull it up on my phone. And I was like, yeah, I emailed you on, I believe it was a Friday. I was like, Friday, March 10th at 4:52 p.m. or 5:52 or something like that. And she was like, no, that didn't happen. And I was just like, but it did, because I'm looking at the email that I sent you. I was like, my husband sent you one too. And she's like, well, I don't see it. And I'm like, look again. And she tells me, she goes, oh, uh-oh. And I'm like, what? And she's like, it looks like it went into my spam folder. So on the other side of the phone, I'm like, got you. Mind you, like I said, she was supposed to respond to me in 5 days. She didn't hit me up until the 6th day. So we were extra super covered. So also, I had been looking for other places, and I was like, I'm done with apartments. I don't want to live in apartments ever again. I'm done. We need to find like a basement unit or something in somebody's house, because that would make me feel better. So we did. So I did. I found that. And then within like, God, by the end of that month, we were out of there. Like, I went to work, packing, cleaning, throwing shit out, blah, blah, blah. So we moved at we didn't even stay. I forgot that we didn't stay. After that happened, we went and signed a new, like, lease agreement or whatever with this lady. And moved in like as soon as possible, because we were like, we're not even gonna be fucking staying here. I hate this place. It's gross. Don't mind me. So the new place was great. You know, one of my BFFs even told me, like, you're gonna be living in this type of place, and there's like a garden, blah blah. So I'm like, bet, this is great. This is exactly what my friend was fucking telling me. And she's psychic as fuck, and I love her, because she's one of the only people I ever trust. Anyways, so we move in. Everything's going great, swimmingly. We're thinking, we hit the jackpot. This bitch is giving us gigantic jars of weed. We're stoked. Until, my husband was already, since February, was already having a hard time at his job. And then new management happened, and it just got way worse. He was stressed out all the time. He wasn't eating, and my husband eats like he has 3 fucking stomachs. And he was losing weight. He wasn't sleeping. He was stressed. He had bags under his eyes. Like, he was not okay. And I wasn't okay either. Because shortly after we moved into this place, I was getting really fucking sick. Like, I was not okay. Like, my energy levels were just dead. I had no inspiration. I think I maybe filmed like 1 video, maybe 2 videos while I was in that place, but I just never felt right. I never felt comfortable. It felt, I don't know how to explain it, but it just felt like I was competing with other energy. But yeah, so I just felt constantly drained, and I was having scalp issues. Like, it was the craziest thing. My hair was literally falling out. I had what's called aciniform eruptions on my scalp, which is basically gigantic fucking pimples on my scalp. It was the most painful thing I have ever experienced. And I have a high tolerance for pain. This is coming from a bitch that broke her fucking leg from the knee down and didn't know it for 2 days. Okay? So if it hurt me, it fucking probably would have made someone else, like, want to die. So that happened. Like, all sorts of, like, weird things were happening. My skin, I was having really bad skin issues, too. My skin looks really good now, but I was breaking out. I'm 33 years old, and I have never had acne. You know, every once in a while, get a hormonal do. No, my shit was fucking wrecked. So that was happening. Then my husband starts to have, like, scalp issues. But mind you, it's completely different scalp issues. He was having, like, red patches and, like, scabbing and all sorts. It was just fucking crazy. So me and him were in and out. For 1 week, we were both in and out of urgent care. So, taking fucking antibiotics. I had to take antibiotics for 1 whole fucking month because of this. It was wild. And then my husband loses his job. So, not great. But we're fine. So this happened. Let me back up. We got married at the beginning of June. So, like, we're official now. Yay. And then by the end of June, he was fired from his job. And, you know, when this first all went down, our landlord was, like, super chill about it. And, you know, she doesn't work or anything. She said that she was just living off of her 401k or whatever and doing, like, side jobs whenever she wanted to type shit. So we're like, oh, cool. And she's like, don't worry about it. Like, you guys are fine. Well, you know, I can help you guys out for, like, 2 months. And we were thinking, oh shit, we really did hit the jackpot with this place, because there's no way if we were living anywhere else that we would have had such an offer. And then it just started to get weird. And I'm going to go back to, like, the health issues I was just talking about. But, she said shit was cool, and then, like, she started asking us about our marriage, and, oh, why did you get married? Did you have to? Like, kind of alluding to, like, am I pregnant? Because she just did not believe that people got married because they wanted to or for love anymore. She was just convinced, like, it's not 1955 where you have to get married because you have a kid. I know plenty of people that are not married and have kids. But anyways, and so she's like, oh, did you have to? And I'm like, I said, yeah, because, yeah, I had to marry him because I fucking love him and I want to be with him forever, bitch, duh. And she kept poking, and I'm like, I'm not pregnant. Like, I'm not pregnant. I'm not with child. So once she found out that I wasn't with child. I did have a pregnancy scare during this point too, and I'm going to get back to that. But sorry, my husband just texted. But when she found out that I wasn't pregnant like she had thought, her whole tune changed. Then she starts harassing us like every single day, texting us, saying, "Oh, I found this job," and she basically was saying, you should leave every day. Like, this isn't gonna work out for you. You should leave. Blah blah blah. Because in Colorado, it takes for fucking ever and some days to actually get any type of like assistance, any rental assistance. It takes 8 to 10 weeks. 8 to 10 weeks for anybody to ever get unemployment, which is fucking wild. Because where I was born and raised in Washington, that shit comes lickety fucking split. Within, like, by the end of the week, you're gonna have your shit, pretty much. Anyways, so she's sending fucking job postings, harassing us, and then I'm just like, dude, let's move again. Let's go see if we can go live with your parents, because this is fucking crazy and I'm not trying to deal with this every single day. She told us not to worry about it. She told us not to stress, and now she's causing us stress. And then come to find out through this whole process, when we're talking, like, I'm talking to my sister about it and letting her know, like, hey, this is fucking stressful, blah, blah, blah. And then she, the super sleuther that she is, she's like, what's the address to this place? And she looks it up on Redfin and finds out that the mortgage for that house was only like $500. Mind you, we are paying $1,300 to live in this bitch's basement. And we really, realistically, did not have any type of privacy. So, it wasn't even fucking worth it. I was pissed when I found that out. I'm like, so, you're saying we're basically paying for this bitch to live. And that's why she was hounding us and stressing us, is because her meal ticket was ending. So that pissed me off. But to go back to, why she was hounding us about me being pregnant and why do you want, why? This bitch was going through our garbage. I'm not even fucking joking. Because she had complained like 2 times about recycling and this, that, and the other. And then, when I said that we did have a pregnancy scare, it's because my cycle was switching from a full moon cycle to a new moon cycle. So I literally I was like 2 weeks, almost 3 weeks late for a period. Because it was switching from a full moon to a new moon. And the only way she would have even had that type of inkling is if she was going through my trash and found my pregnancy test. Notice that I wasn't having a period because the type of plumbing she had, I couldn't flush tampons, so they had to go, TMI, they had to go in my garbage. Black magic requires fucking blood, hair. She had a fucking treasure trove of my DNA and my husband's DNA. Which I think explains the health issues we were both experiencing during the time that we were living there. So, we were able to fucking skedaddle. His parents were gracious enough to help us relocate to Texas. We're just outside of Houston now. So yeah, we're roomies with them for the time being. They're just gonna give us a soft place to land while we are getting our ducks back in a row. My husband already has a fucking job, working for Frito-Lay. That's where my father-in-law works too. And your bitch is back. I'm starting to get my energy back. My health is way better than it was. I started exercising. Like, I'm just feeling fucking great. So I will be putting out some content sooner rather than later. And just wanted to fill you guys in and let you know what's been going on with me, that I'm very much alive, I'm very much well, and there's more of me to come. So until next time, love y'all.